Hello, everyone. Today I have an amazing story for you. It's not just for your listening practice, but also to inspire you. The story is called Dreams Demand Effort, and it will show you that hard work and determination can change lives. There was a young woman named Nora, 21 years old, living in a peaceful riverside town surrounded by rolling green hills and a sparkling wide river. Nora had huge dreams. She wanted to own a chain of flower shops filled with beautiful arrangements and become a successful florist entrepreneur. But life wasn't easy for her. Nora's family was struggling financially. Her father, Thomas, was a fisherman who worked long hours on the river, and her mother, Elena, sewed clothes for neighbors to help pay the bills. Nora's younger brother, Tim, was just 10 and saw her as his shining hero who could make anything possible. One misty evening, Nora sat by the riverbank, watching the water flow gently. She whispered softly to herself, "I want to give my family a brighter future, full of comfort and joy. But how do I even begin when we can hardly afford the basics each day?" The next morning, Nora opened her heart and shared her big dreams with her father. Thomas looked at her with tired but loving eyes and sighed deeply. "Nora, my dear, dreams demand effort. If you truly want something, you have to chase it with everything inside you. Start right where you are, even if it's just a tiny step forward." Nora sat quietly, thinking about her father's wise words, and suddenly, an idea sparkled in her mind. She noticed that in her town, everyone adored fresh, colorful flowers for birthdays, weddings, and simple home decorations. But the nearest flower market was miles away across the river. She decided to start selling fresh flowers right there in her own neighborhood. But there was a challenge. Nora had no money at all to buy the flowers up front. She decided to be brave and walked the long path to meet the flower supplier, Mr. Thompson, a stern, older man who hardly trusted strangers easily. With a steady voice, Nora said, "Mr. Thompson, I want to sell your beautiful flowers here in our town, but I don't have any money to pay right now. Can you please trust me for just 1 week? I promise I will sell every bunch, return every penny to you, and keep only a small, honest profit for my work." Mr. Thompson raised his bushy eyebrows and asked gruffly, "Why on earth should I believe a young girl like you with no experience?" Nora looked straight into his eyes and answered with quiet strength, "Because I am full of determination, and I will pour my heart and soul into this to prove my worth." After thinking for what felt like forever, Mr. Thompson finally nodded and said, "Very well. I'll give you flowers for 1 week, but listen carefully. If you fail to bring back my money or the unsold flowers, don't ever show your face here again." Nora's heart filled with joy and excitement. Early the following morning, she carefully carried the fragrant flowers back to her town and set up a simple little stand right beside the lively riverside park. She smiled warmly at every person who passed by, greeting them cheerfully with fresh flowers, straight from the fields, just picked today and perfect for your home. At first, the townspeople were unsure. They wondered if the flowers would last or look as pretty as the faraway market ones. But Nora generously offered tiny free sample stems, and soon her very first customer smiled and bought a bright bouquet. By the end of that busy day, she had sold every single flower and earned a small but precious profit. That same evening, she hurried back to Mr. Thompson, paid him fully, and the old man gave a small, approving nod, saying, "You kept your promise, young one. Come back again if you wish." From that moment, Nora worked with unstoppable energy. She rose at 4 a.m. every single day, walked the long distance to collect the flowers, carried them gently across the bridge, and sold them with pure passion and kindness. After 2 full months, she had carefully saved enough to buy a sturdy wooden cart with wheels, making it so much easier to carry bigger loads of flowers. One sunny afternoon, a kind, regular customer smiled and suggested, "Nora, why don't you grow and arrange your own special flowers? You are wonderful at selling, but if you create your own, you'll earn so much more and make everything unique." This suggestion lit a fire in Nora's heart. Yet it also made her nervous, because she had never planted or arranged anything before. This was the exact moment Nora truly understood: dreams demand effort. Not success, not skills, not beauty. If I want to rise, I must step out bravely and learn everything new. Nora couldn't stop imagining how wonderful it would be to grow her own garden of flowers. She would no longer depend only on Mr. Thompson, and her earnings could truly blossom. But there stood one huge obstacle. She knew absolutely nothing about planting or caring for flowers. Nora gathered her courage, and the very next morning, after handing over the payment, she politely asked Mr. Thompson, "Sir, would you kindly teach me how to grow and arrange flowers beautifully?" The older man frowned and replied, "Why would I teach my own secrets to you? If you succeed, you might stop buying from me, and that would hurt my trade." Nora met his gaze calmly and said, "I understand completely, but I will never forget the first person who gave me this golden chance. If my dream grows big, I promise to send customers your way and even help promote your flowers." In return, Mr. Thompson paused thoughtfully, then smiled just a little and agreed. "Fine, but remember, growing flowers isn't simple. It needs daily care, patience through every season, and real hard work. If your heart is ready for all that, I will show you." The lessons started before dawn the following day. Nora arrived at the supplier's greenhouse at 3 a.m. While the stars still twinkled, Mr. Thompson patiently taught her how to prepare rich soil, plant delicate seeds, water them just right, and create stunning arrangements. At the beginning, Nora struggled badly. Her back ached from digging, her hands got scratched, and many of her first plants wilted or grew uneven. One afternoon, after watching yet another tray of seedlings fail, Nora sat on the riverbank, feeling completely crushed. She whispered to herself, "Maybe I am not cut out for this. Maybe I should just stop trying here." But then, her father's words echoed strongly in her mind. Dreams demand effort. She realized every single mistake was actually a quiet teacher, showing her what to do better. Quitting was never the path. The very next morning, Nora returned to the greenhouse, filled with fresh fire in her spirit. She practiced each tiny step with total focus. Slowly but surely, her flowers began to thrive, stronger, healthier, and more vibrant. After 2 dedicated weeks, Mr. Thompson proudly handed her a perfect bouquet and declared, "Nora, this is excellent. You have truly learned. You are ready now." Nora felt pure happiness bubbling inside her. She rented a small patch of land near her home and started growing her own flowers, right there in the backyard. Her whole family watched in awe at her endless dedication. Tim, her little brother, eagerly helped her water the plants, and her mother Elena brought cool drinks while Nora worked long after sunset. Soon, Nora wasn't only selling plain flowers anymore. She began creating lovely bouquets, special wreaths, and even tiny potted gardens full of color. The people in the town raved about her creations, saying, "Nora's flowers feel like they carry sunshine and love, unlike anything we've seen." But real success never walks an easy road. One bright morning, a brand new flower shop opened right in the heart of town, run by a confident young woman named Sophia. Sophia's place had fancy glass windows, twinkling lights, and elegant displays. Townsfolk grew curious, and many started shopping there instead. Nora watched her own sales slowly shrinking, and a wave of worry washed over her. What if all her sleepless nights and hard days disappeared forever? But instead of hiding in fear, Nora chose to grow wiser. She walked around, listening carefully to every customer, and gently asked what makes Sophia's shop so special, and how can I make mine even better? Some replied, "Her arrangements look so modern and artistic." Others mentioned, "The shop feels bright and welcoming." Nora understood she needed to bloom, not just as a grower, but as a true businesswoman. With her hard-earned savings, she painted her cart in cheerful colors, added pretty ribbons and hanging lanterns, and began giving away free tiny flower charms with every purchase. She even studied beautiful designs by borrowing books from the town library and practicing late into the night. Gradually, the loyal customers came flowing back to her. One peaceful evening, an elderly gentleman stopped at her cart and said softly, "I've watched many young dreamers quit the moment the wind turned against them, but you kept standing tall. That's exactly why we all trust you and keep returning." His gentle words wrapped around Nora's heart like warm sunshine and filled her with deep pride. The months rolled on, and Nora's little business kept expanding beautifully. She saved enough to rent a cozy corner shop. It wasn't grand like Sophia's, but it glowed with warmth and the sweet scent of fresh blooms. She named it Nora's Riverside Blooms. Every single morning, before the sun peeked over the hills, she woke up, tended her garden, arranged fresh displays, and opened her shop doors with the brightest smile. Her father, Thomas, and mother, Elena, pitched in happily. Tim, now 11, chatted cheerfully with visitors, and Elena carefully noted every sale in a simple notebook. Yet Nora understood her journey was still climbing higher. She longed to touch more hearts, bring greater joy to her family, and prove deep inside that true effort turns impossible dreams into living reality. Nora's riverside blooms quickly became the warm, beating heart of the entire town. Everyone adored her vibrant roses, cheerful daisies, creative wreaths, and thoughtful custom orders. Her business kept growing steadily, and her family beamed with happiness and pride. But life still had one more tough test waiting. One wild, stormy night, while Nora was locking up her shop, she heard a loud crash and rushed inside to find that strong winds and pouring rain had flooded the back room, ruining many tools, pots, and precious seedlings. She worked frantically with buckets and cloths to save what she could, but a lot was lost. By sunrise, when the townspeople learned about the flood, they gathered around. Some shook their heads, saying, "Oh dear, what will poor Nora do now?" Others quietly wondered if this might be the sad end of her story. Nora felt a heavy ache in her chest, but her spirit refused to break. She stepped outside among the crowd and declared clearly, "This is simply another hill on my path. I've climbed steep ones before, and I will climb this too. I refuse to surrender." She breathed deeply and started forming a clear plan. She counted every coin she had saved and saw it wasn't nearly enough to replace everything. A flicker of doubt tried to creep in, but Nora recalled her entire journey from zero money and zero knowledge to this moment. Instead of sitting still in worry, she reached out for guidance. She visited Mr. Thompson, who had now slowed down his own work, and asked, "Kindly, sir, if you were standing in my shoes, what steps would you take next?" Mr. Thompson's eyes twinkled as he replied, "Nora, you already carry the answer deep within you. Keep working harder, trust your own hands, and watch how others will naturally step forward to stand with you." Those words lit her courage like a lantern. Nora chose to rise again. She didn't sit waiting for rescue. Instead, she returned to growing flowers in every spare corner of her home, using whatever pots and seeds remained. She promised her customers with a steady smile, "I will never leave you without beauty. I'll keep delivering, even if it's only small handfuls right now." The people of the town saw her unbreakable courage, and their hearts opened wide. Many rushed to help. Some brought extra soil and healthy young plants. Others quietly slipped small amounts of money into her hand, and several neighbors spent their free hours cleaning, drying, and fixing the damaged shop. Nora discovered a beautiful truth. When you pour your whole heart into honest effort and never quit, even in rain, people truly notice, and they joyfully lift up anyone who first lifts themselves. After several months of tireless days and nights, Nora proudly reopened her shop, and it shone brighter than ever before. She added fresh, colorful paint, hung sparkling wind chimes, and introduced exciting new creations, like dried flower bookmarks and scented herbal bouquets. Her customers cheered with delight on the grand reopening. Morning, the town's mayor arrived with a warm smile and announced, "Nora, you stand as a living inspiration to every soul here. You have proven with your own life that pure determination can move mountains and turn storms into stories of triumph." Nora stood tall before the gathered crowd, her voice clear and grateful, and said, "From my heart, I thank every single one of you. You have shown me that nothing in this world comes free. Not success, not beauty, not kindness, not even love. Everything must be earned through steady, hard work, endless patience, and unbreakable persistence. Never allow any setback to chain your steps, because each challenge is simply a stepping stone, carrying you towards something far greater." From that very day, Nora's riverside blooms grew into more than just a flower shop. It transformed into a glowing symbol of hope and resilience. Visitors from neighboring towns began traveling just to meet the determined young woman who refused to bow to any difficulty. Nora's story gently teaches us 4 shining truths. 1. Dreams demand effort. They ask for sweat, sacrifice, and daily courage. 2. Every failure is simply a hidden lesson that makes us wiser and tougher. 3. When you first help yourself with full commitment, the world around you will naturally open its hands to help too. 4. Never, ever give up, because the hardest, darkest hours almost always arrive right before the most beautiful dawn. Nora didn't only create a flower shop, she built an entire life overflowing with meaning, deep respect, and quiet pride. And so can you. No matter how far away your own dream feels today, don't ever stop reaching for it. Remember, dreams demand effort, but with your hands and heart, everything truly becomes possible. If Nora's beautiful journey touched your heart and lit a fire inside you to chase your own dreams with courage and never give up spirit, then please do 3 small things that mean the world to me. Hit that like button so this story reaches more dreamers like you. Subscribe to the channel and tap the bell so you never miss our next inspiring tale every single day. And share this video with at least one friend or family member who needs a little motivation today. Your one click helps me bring more life-changing stories to people around the world. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for listening. You're the reason I keep telling these stories. See you in the next one. Stay strong, stay inspired, and remember, dreams demand effort, but everything is possible. Let's go.